So Chelsea suffer another loss this season. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Now, you could argue that this was a League Cup match, which some people will say is the Mickey Mouse Cup, and therefore do not worry so much about this game. But I humbly disagree. I think this is a game we should have put more effort into and tried to beat Manchester City, because at the end of the season, if your team is lifting a trophy, it typically means that you've done a fairly decent job in your season. And the League Cup itself right now seems like that would have been one of the only options for Chelsea maybe to lift something, because I hate to say it, the way we've been playing in the Premier League, I'm thinking we're not even going to finish in the top four. Champions League is always an up and hill battle, so you never know what can happen there. So maybe we'll have a miracle run again and make it to the final and win it. FA Cup, same thing. Anything can happen, and therefore I do not see Chelsea winning anything this season. And the League Cup itself, though, was a great opportunity for that. And for some reason, Graham Potter decided that this would be one of the matches that we decide to rotate our players in our squad, even though we just had a Champions League match where nothing mattered. We already won the group. We could have rotated the rest of the players up, yet we did not for that match. I do not understand why. Graham Potter obviously has answers for that, but this is a game we should have seen other players play in this match. Now, that being said, I think we did play fairly well. Yes, the results do not show that. We lost 2-0. We obviously had our chances. We could not finish them. That is typical for Chelsea as of lately, which is hard pill to swallow as a Chelsea fan. But again, it's something I've gotten used to as the season has gone on. That being said, though, too, let's talk about Lewis Hall. This guy has been playing phenomenal. Every time he starts for Chelsea, I know it's not many matches, but every time it seems like he plays, he's been able to step up to what is being offered to him, and again, plays very, very well. And again, this guy itself maybe should get some more playing time with the senior club. I'm not too sure what Graham Potter is planning on doing with him after this, because again, we only have one more match before the World Cup. That's against Newcastle coming up this weekend. So obviously, Graham Potter is going to have a lot of time to think about who he wants in this squad, because as we've seen lately, there are certain players that pretty much should not be here anymore. They need to go. One of them being Hakim Ziyech. And I'm still confused why he started this match as well in the League Cup. He's gone out and disrespected this club. He posted that goal, which was a great goal when he played for Ajax against Chelsea. The fact that he posts that, though, it reminds me of Lukaku. Not as bad as Lukaku, obviously, but still, it's up in that category. And then we decide, you know what? Maybe we should start him. And he has the capability of being a very good player, but he's one of those players, it's hot and cold. Every time he plays for Chelsea, his attitude is not there. And therefore, again, he's a player that probably shouldn't have started in this match and probably should not play for Chelsea again. I think he needs to be shipped out during the transfer window in January. Hopefully, someone will take him. I'm pretty sure someone will, because, again, he is a gifted player, but his time at Chelsea, I think, is coming to an end. Now, that all being said, the good thing about us being knocked out of the League Cup, though, is that we do not have so many matches as we saw in October. We had so many matches back to back to back to back to back, which led to injuries. Now being knocked out of the League Cup, this will give us a little bit more of a rest. Now, obviously, we're still going to have Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League itself. So again, the schedule will still be very, very tight. Players coming back from the World Cup, not getting much rest from there. And therefore, this little bit of a gap between all our matches now will make a huge difference, I think, for the rest of the season. Because as we've seen prior to this match against Manchester City, is that our players are just running into the ground. We've had so many injuries. Chilwell, Reece James, Mendy, who is back now, but Kepa, just to name a few players. It's because we've had so many matches. Players cannot just keep playing like this, and therefore the fact that we're out now is probably a good thing. Now, granted, I did want us to win the League Cup, but again, we have to look at the silver lining with us getting knocked out, and I think this is one of the positives of it. On top of that, like I said, with the World Cup coming up, this now gives Graham Potter some more time. Yes, I know we have one more match against Newcastle this weekend, but to give him about a month and a half, because our next match after this Newcastle is not until the end of December. So therefore, he pretty much has about a month and a half to really analyze this squad, maybe tinker around during some time and figure out what exactly he wants to do and players that he wants to bring in the January transfer window as well, which again is going to be massive for this club, because we obviously need to offload some players, but we also need to bring in a lot of players as well, because as we've seen, this squad is getting very, very thin, not only in our midfield, but obviously in our defense as well. And there's some players that we need to, again, upgrade certain positions to make this team what it used to be capable of doing. And again, finishing the top four, it seems like it may be a very difficult task now. Obviously, with all the clubs out there now, I mean, Manchester City, Arsenal, obviously are 1 and 2. I don't see them falling apart anytime soon. Tottenham, Newcastle, Manchester United, those teams itself are really competing for the top four as well, along with us, Liverpool, and I'm sure there's a few other teams that could still step up and try to compete for the top four positions. So really, we need to bolster this team up. Graham Potter needs to get this ship in the right direction and start winning matches again. And hopefully we can start doing that. Obviously, this week against Newcastle is going to be a big testament for this club, because if we lose that match, it is going to be a hard pill to swallow, because so many matches back-to-back losses, taking a break and then coming back, I have a feeling it's going to be really hard to motivate these players. So hopefully we can show up this weekend, and hopefully Graham Potter can get the best of these players. But again, it's going to be up to the manager. It's going to be up to the squad that plays. So hopefully we can do that. So that is all I have for you today in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to know what you guys think about us losing in the League Cup to Manchester City. If it was an opportunity for us to win that match, if Graham Potter did the right things with rotating our players, I want to know what you guys think. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate that. It helps get this video to more and more fans such as yourself. And that is it, and I will see you next time.